So what happens when an artist goes live with absolutely no script and no filter? Well, today we're diving into hours of those very conversations with the artist BI, and we're going to piece together a portrait of the really unique mind behind the music. And we're going to start with a bit of a puzzle, and this one comes from the artist himself. At one point, he told his fans, "You're all being tricked. I'm not a funny person." I mean, think about that for a second. It's such a fascinating thing to say because it directly pushes back on how his audience sees him, and it kind of hints that there's something much more complex going on under the surface. And that's where we get our material for today. These live streams, they're completely unscripted. They're our source, a rare, totally unfiltered window into his mind. And what they show is a perspective that's both incredibly creative and, yeah, deeply complex. Okay, so how does a mind like this actually create? Let's start with the process, the actual craft. And there's one tool that is absolutely central to everything he does, his physical notebooks. He talks with this genuine regret about losing his very first notebooks from back when he was just starting out. He calls it a failure to protect something precious. It was this physical piece of his history, and now it's just gone. You get the feeling that this loss is exactly why he's so meticulous now about saving and archiving every single notebook he filled. And this is where you see this really cool duality in how he works. On one hand, you have the inspired moments. He says that's when the best work comes. The songs just flow and barely need any edits. But then he's also a professional, right? He admits that sometimes writing is just a job. It's a duty you have to deliver on, whether you're feeling inspired or not. Okay, this is where his mind just gets so interesting. Look at how he organizes music. I mean, forget about genres like pop or R&B. He categorizes his playlists by these hyper-specific feelings and scenarios. So you've got Cozy Sofa for songs that, make you want to just sink into your couch. Janjambari is for when you want something calm, maybe a little sad. Then there's Sungshil. It's for music that has a beat but is still super chill. And my favorite, Rebirth of Hanbin, a special place for songs that are just so powerful they don't fit anywhere else. So all of this creative process, it's not just about technique. It's really all rooted in a core philosophy. So let's move from what he does to why he does it. Let's look at the character behind the craft. He has this amazing term for his own empathy, gacha empathy. Like those Japanese capsule toy machines where you get a random prize. He says his empathy is like that. It's not this constant, on-demand thing. It shows up randomly. And when it does, it's 100% genuine. But he's honest that it's not always there, which makes it feel like this rare, precious resource. And the root of all this? It's this core belief in being authentic. He actually traces it all the way back to his childhood, saying his mother really, really disliked lying. And that one simple rule, don't be fake, seems to be the foundation for his whole public persona. And this commitment to being real is totally wrapped up in his self-professed introversion. He's open about it. He says he's the quiet one when he's with friends, that he reads books mostly to get away from his phone, and he has this idea that there are all these hazy, undefined selves inside of him. It's like he's always navigating this space between his inner world and his very public life. So you've got this quiet, authentic person. How does that actually play out when he's interacting with his community? Well, sometimes in some really unexpected ways. So picture this. He's doing one of his live streams, and he starts noticing all these comments in the chat from fans trying to find friends in their own cities. And in this moment of just pure spontaneity, instead of just reading the comments and moving on, he decides to do something about it. He becomes a social connector. And just like that, the impromptu BI matchmaking service was born. Seriously, he'd call out a city, like Daegu or Gwangju, find people looking for friends, and get them to connect right there in the chat. He even promised a little prize if they sent him proof that they became friends. His reason? He just wants people with the same heart to find each other so they don't get misunderstood. And this all leads up to what might be one of his most memorable ideas ever, a concept that was born directly out of this playful, sometimes contradictory dynamic he has with his audience. So he noticed this pattern, right? His fans would say something, and his first instinct was often to playfully disagree with them or challenge it. But instead of trying to change that part of his personality, he decided to just lean into it and build a whole tradition around it. So he comes up with this, the Day of Acknowledgement. He declared that for one day every single year, he is banned from disagreeing with anything. Every single comment, every statement his fans make, he has to meet with total agreement. It's just a brilliant, hilarious, and super self-aware idea that perfectly captures their entire relationship. And here's the kicker. He makes it crystal clear this isn't just for them. He says, whether you want it or not, I am going to create this day. This is for me. So it's not fan service. It's a personal project, a kind of performance art that he's doing for his own reasons. So it leaves us with this question, right? In a world where every celebrity image is so carefully managed, what's the real value of being unfiltered? When you piece all these moments together, the gotcha empathy, the matchmaking, the day of acknowledgement, you see this portrait of an artist who is complex, contradictory, and in the end, just refreshingly human. And maybe, just maybe, that authenticity is the most valuable thing an artist can share.